choice I have now. I just wanna get it right with you. But if we try to talk about it, our history says we'll just argue. And I know you're gonna act a fool, and then no one could tell the difference between me and you, babe.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it.
It is Thursday, April 8th, 2021. Thanks so much for joining us. How's everybody doing this morning in the chat rooms, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube? Shout out to everybody. Rebecca and James, how y'all doing this morning?
Doing all right. It's a Thursday. It is Friday
Yay.
Junior, so that's good.
Okay, Friday Eve, honey. I'm here for it.
Friday Junior, Friday. I'm here for it too. It's I'm looking out the window. It's not a pretty day, but it is it's a new day, so it is what it is. I live off of the sun, man. I have to have sunshine in my life for me to operate properly. So right. But at least it is Friday Junior, right?
Yeah,
like Nick Jr., Disney Jr., Friday Jr., same thing.
Yeah, no, we'll take it. Anyway, be sure to hit that share, like, and subscribe button. Guys, we got the Like It or Not Patreon page set up.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/
finally
Like It or Not. It is up. And if you are a subscriber or if you are a patron of the Like It or Not, then you get access to everything that is a part of the Benjamin Dixon Show patron page. If you are part of the Benjamin Dixon Show patron page, you get access to everything that is in the Like It or Not patron page as well. So we're cross-pollinating there and making sure that we have take care of the entire team and make sure that everyone who's supporting us gets access to everything that we do. So go to patreon.com/ Like It or Not. I'm so used to saying the BPD show. Patreon.com.
We should have celebration. Where's your button, Bubba? Like the celebration or the clapping or the woo.
I haven't used it in so long. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's because it's old school. They don't do that no more.
Hey, I mean, I don't know.
Yes, we do. We still do that.
I thought so.
Find it. Look. Oh, there we go.
There it is. Patreon.com / Like It or Not to support everything that's going on. So what is going on? We got plenty of news and stuff to cover across the country. What's going on y'all way?
Life. Yeah. Oh, another Wildcat down.
Oh no, who?
Yeah. We had to talk off camera, Ben.
Oh man,
I meant to tell you this morning, and I think you have a feeling already who it is. But yeah, this a big one. Yeah.
Oh man, not my boy.
C Money.
C Money. God damn it.
Yeah, dude. I know he had been struggling for a minute, but at least he's in a better place. So he had been struggling for a minute, dude. So I know he's in a better place, but he kept that spirit going all the way through. Man. Shout out to him, man.
Shout out to our boy C Money from Bethune-Cookman. I forget. Did he play? What did he play? French, not French horn.
Saxophone.
What was his instrument? Saxophone.
Yeah,
that's what he played. Yeah.
Yep. The life of the band.
Yeah, you know people by the instruments they played, man. And C Money was a good dude, man. Fought a long, hard fight, man.
Yeah.
This last 2 years. These last 2 years been wild, man. Not even 2 years.
Wow.
What I'm talking about, it's just been like a year and a half, right?
This past year and 4 months.
It has been a mess.
A year and 4 months. It's been
a year and 4 months.
Depressing. It's been stressful. It's been, we haven't had any time to really properly mourn people. It's kind of I think it's one of those things. And it's I know that we get older, and I know that eventually people are going to die in our lives. But it's just now it's people that are healthy and and things like that right now are their lives are being taken for whatever reason. The last year and a half, we should say, it's been taken by a lot of people have had complications with COVID or had COVID or whatever.
Yeah.
And as a result, either have passed or have issues now that won't go away as a result of COVID. So it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot for this last year and a half. But I think, I mean, I don't even know what to say because it's just daily. People pass daily. Every time I get online or every time I get a phone call or every time, it's just like, who died?
Yeah.
And it's terrible. It's terrible.
Like I've gotten used, well, I don't want to say that, but it's those, when people call at a certain time of night, it's kind of like, well, damn, who is it this time? And like you're right, Rebecca, it has been such a traumatic year and a half that we have not had time to properly mourn every person that we've lost over this. I mean, it's day after day, week after week. And then even like in the social media spaces, right? You know, we don't have personal relationships with everyone on social media, but you know, our empathy extends to them. And what I've seen over the last year is just over and over and over again. It's like every day, 2 or 3 times a day, we're having to offer condolences because of how many people are dying right now. And so just a lot of money, a lot of love to everyone who knew our friend C Money from Bethune-Cookman, and a lot of love and condolences and solidarity with everyone who is suffering a loss. And like you said, Rebecca, hasn't had the proper amount of time to mourn. So
it's crazy because it's not only that we're mourning. Some people are mourning people. Some people have mourned relationships. A lot of relationships were tested during this time. And some people have filed for divorce, lost a man, woman, partner, whatever in this time, because this kind of was a very trying time for people. Finances got in the way. Some people are mourning their jobs that they thought they were furloughed and never got again. You know, some people never got assistance. You know, it's just a lot that people are mourning. People are mourning. We're mourning George Floyd to this day. Like we're mourning Breonna Taylor. It's a lot. So,
and just what? Damn.
I didn't mean to make it heavy, but I'm just saying, like, you know, some people, can't relate to losing a person physically in that way to death, but they are mourning, you know, losing somebody or something throughout this whole pandemic. And
And I know I say this a lot, but that's why we can't, as we cover these stories, like there's enough sadness, there's enough things to be mad about, there's enough things to be angry about, where we don't have to build our entire presence here online around anger. And I think that's what we're seeing a lot of people in the audiences as they, you know, give us feedback about the new show. Like they really do genuinely appreciate having a place where they can go and have some joy, as well as talk about the issues, you know what I mean? And as well as express, like we have a full range of emotions on this show because we're going through a full range of emotions every single day in this country, whether it be the George Floyd murder and the Derek Chauvin trial, or the fact that Breonna Taylor still hasn't gotten justice by any measure. In fact, it's a great injustice, all the way down to the fact, like you said, Rebecca, like people's jobs are gone. People are living paycheck to paycheck, if they even are getting a paycheck at this point. People sitting and waiting in food lines. So there needs to be a place where people can come and gather without having it to be centered around our anger all the time, because, you know, after a while, you're just burned out. You just complete. And I know I'm not even talking about us. I'm talking about, I know the audience has to get burned out when every single day, all we're doing is just like shouting at the wind, like that Homer Simpson's meme. We're just shouting and angry all the time. People really just need a place where they can come and they can talk and they can, what we say in church, congregate and be around other people, like-minded people. So that's the space that we're trying to create here for Like It or Not. Early in the morning, 8:30, 8:45, now coming up at 8:45. So anyway,
So let's do this really quick. Let's do a reset. We started off a little on the sour side. It felt like a Monday morning. So the producers ain't like that. So let's do a reset. And
what about that?
A self-care break for everybody, for the people who are watching and for us. What's up, Ben?
Let me ask you, James, that video that you put in that we were going to play yesterday with Nick Cannon, you think that's a good?
No, that's going to make it a little, well, I'm going to write him in.
You're going to write?
Oh, yeah. You guys are going to
you didn't like it?
He can do this, and I'm going to write him in.
I don't think he can sing.
Yeah.
I mean, I never really heard him sing.
But see,
well, I'll break it down to you as to why, but.
Okay, that's good. I think I like that because Rebecca's from the new school, and we're old.
Rebecca's a real singer.
For us to see Nick Cannon like actually singing, child, I was shocked because Nick Cannon ain't had a hit ever. Never mind.
No, he didn't. It wasn't that for me. And when you're singing with Kiara Shear, you know what?
That's it.
Dwayne, if you got it, because Ben done this will be the break. Ben, Dwayne, if you got it, let's roll that video so I can I can help the people understand.
Yes, please.
Sound good.
I know somebody feel.
Key James.
Will do what he promised he would do. Stand by his word. He will come.
So here's my thing with that. I know you guys heard, like, of course, the stacking of the voice, which means it was pre-recorded. And so there was a little assistance for Nick Cannon's voice. Not saying that he can't hold a note, not saying that he can't hold a tune, but people was out there like, oh my God. And not saying that he didn't bless me. Okay, I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying is he wasn't singing. I mean, people were doing like write-ups about, oh, we didn't know he can blow. We didn't
no, he can't
know
blow now.
That somebody tried to argue with me. I'm like, they're like, I didn't know that he can sing the way he did, sang the house down. Wait, so Kiara sang the house down. The choir sang the house down. He was one of those people that, know how to hold a tune and they come in for the mic to sing their testimony. That's a blessing right there. Bless my heart, and that's what it did.
And that's why I can't stand Rebecca, because watching it a second time, it's like, oh, he did.
It was giving a little T-Pain there. It was giving something.
I was going to ask, can he sing as good as T-Pain at least?
Don't do T-Pain like that.
Hold on, don't do that.
No, but
T-Pain
can sing without his auto-tune too. And I'm not saying, okay, so let's clarify. Nick Cannon did sing. Okay. Nick Cannon did sing. But when you guys say sang, oh, he sang the house down. He sang. Oh, he can sing. It's very different. It's very different. So,
he didn't tear the house down. I'm just mad I didn't hear more Kiara in that clip now.
That's what I'm saying. Because in the clip that I saw, Kiara was running through. I was like, and Nick Cannon coming after this. One thing that I picked up from that was I didn't know Nick Cannon could play the keys. That's where I was like, okay, he plays. Wow, this is good. He's very talented. That's one thing about Nick Cannon. I think that him being with Mariah probably used to sit him down and say, play the keys, baby. And this is how we're going to do the notes. And she probably treated him like
keys from Mariah.
Kids. I'm pretty sure.
He probably messed up and went to Ariana. That's why Ariana got them notes now, because Mariah lost it.
Oh.
Wait, Mariah.
Call a spade a spade.
So
Mariah lost them notes, child.
I don't do
That's
stuff
blasphemous,
like
bro.
Thank you, man.
Oh my God, y'all is not Mariah.
I'm not gonna say
is Mariah gonna strike me from a cloud? Because she be sitting high. I don't have time. I don't have it. Okay, I will not speak on Mariah Carey, but what I can do is speak on Nick Cannon. But I'll give credit where credit is due. He did hold his notes. He was singing. And he knows how to play. That is amazing. And I think that he's going through a lot mentally. So I think that was probably for him.
I heard he got his deal back with Viacom or whoever it was that shot him down because of the whole thing that he went through. And they tried to get what is it? What's the name of his show? The variety show they did, Wildin' Out. They tried to get the co-host to take over Wildin' Out after they got rid of Nick Cannon, and the co-hosts were like, and he was like, no, no,
Yeah.
I ain't doing it. And that's love. That's love.
Because they know, like, at the end of the day, so much drama might surround. So much drama might surround it, and that when somebody's intentions weren't to be malicious, and you have people around you that love you, the world can cancel you. Social media can cancel you. That's why I say it's very important to surround yourself with love and be good to people, because they will always remember that when shit hits the fan. So like they will always remember that and they will have your back. So so that your character like, always speaks first.
Because you know, they probably offered DC Young Fly like a huge bag, and he was like, no. And that's the move, man. That was respect. So now Nick is coming back in his comeback. I don't really know about that song there, if he's going to go on tour or, you know, make an album or anything. But
with somebody else's song?
No, you not need to do that. No.
Who thinks that? No. Oh, Fred Hammond.
You're right.
Fred Hammond.
Yeah. Fred Hammond.
In gospel music,
Dwayne, you're right.
In gospel music, they don't get. After this, we can go to break, but because I know this is going to just open up a whole nother can of worms. But in gospel music, they don't get the same like praise and royalties, I feel like, as other people. Let somebody else get their song sampled. People in the gospel community, because I know this happens in the Haitian community like nobody's business. You get your song sampled, it's took. So, but people will just come out with music at the same time, and just maybe not get the credit for it, or maybe not get paid for somebody sampling their song, kind of thing. That happens a lot in gospel music. But I bet you people would think that Nick Cannon sang this song. If he comes out with it, they're gonna be like, that Nick Cannon song?
People forget.
Song?
Well, they either forget or they never knew. Just they
never knew.
Right.
It's crazy because I don't know if you remember Martha Menenzi. Do you guys know that one, Martha? So she came out with the song at the same time as Karen Clark shared, and they both performed it at an award show. I will never forget. I was watching it. They both performed it at the award show at the same time. It was just a mess. Wow. And they both had it on their albums, and they both had dropped their gospel albums around the same time. Who got the credit for that song? I don't know. But yeah, there was a white version and there was a black version of that song.
Come on now. And shout out to Savage Sweetheart. Savage Sweetheart just dropped the super chat. Got my stimulus. Here's a 2-piece for the calls.
Oh yeah, I got my
shout out Savage Sweetheart. Stimmy star. Come on. Where the money reside.
All right. So Rebecca, we're gonna take your advice here. We're gonna take a quick break. A quick break. When we come back, we'll come back with some political stories. Rest in peace to our friend Corey C. Money from Bethune-Cookman University, and to everyone who's mourning and everyone who's going through. We're gonna bring it up. We're gonna bring us up a little bit right here. James, it's in your hands. More likely than not after this.
I need my money right now.
Shout out to Savage Sweetheart. You told him you need your money. You got it, sister. Shout out to you, y'all. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, but don't waste my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my
Good morning, mama. Good morning. Love you, mama. Good morning, sensation.
I thought your heart was like mine, but let me find out you've been
Justice, good morning.
Shots, running plots, come on, man.
Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We got the show coming up. And make sure that you join the Patreon. Patreon.com/likeItOrNot. Patreon.com/likeItOrNot. Make sure that you go ahead and join. You'll get the same thing on both channels. So if you go into Patreon.com/likeItOrNot or /the BBD show, okay? Make sure you check out both of them, y'all. And we will be reading our new patrons list coming up on the next break. So make sure that you stay tuned. Suck Diesel, what's going on, brother? Good morning, good morning.
Sorry to tell you,
Black Dragon, yes. Buy my Easter basket that my mama didn't get right for me, but I still love her. I'm just playing, mama. David, good morning, sir. I appreciate the love.
But now it's clear you ain't ever been true.
Martha, good morning.
Intuition ain't never lied, I had to leave. Handle your business, do what you think you need to do to get your revenge. But you won't break me, God as my witness.
Alicia, good morning. Latif, good morning, brother. Stitchy and Stilettos Gamer, good morning, sister. I love you too. Nat A, Nat M. Extra the Dragon, good morning, good morning. Man, I love y'all. Good morning, y'all. I love y'all so much.
Pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true.
Thank you, Edward. Anytime, man. Lisa Noel, good morning, lady. Good morning. Jerry P, good morning. Good morning.
Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my.
Brenda Johnson, good morning. Good morning. All right, y'all. It's time for More Like It or Not, so make sure that you stay tuned. Let's get it.
All right.
I wasn't ready yet. I was like, dang, we just came back. Okay.
Yeah. So
I know, right? The song did it real quick, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was trying to enjoy it, and then it
like,
ended.
dang, here we go. All right.
Okay, here we go. All right, so Rebecca, there's a lot of stuff happening in the news, but the first one I think is kind of funny but poignant. You talk about it for us.
Yeah, so Jeopardy inadvertently calls out America. Let's start with the clip first. This was a Jeopardy episode hosted by Aaron Rodgers. Let's take a look.
History potpourri 1600. In 2015, Congress authorized payments of $4.44 million to each of these people, $10,000 for each day of their captivity. Joe back.
Who are slaves?
No. Scott?
Who are Guantanamo Bay prisoners?
No.
Who are Japanese internment camp survivors?
No. The correct response is the Iran hostages.
It was the whole thing was just wrong. Every answer was not wrong, but right. But still, it was like, dang, the hostages that the question referred to were American embassy officials who were working at the American embassy in Tehran when the 1979 overthrow of Shah. Notably, when the Iranians took over the embassy, they released all the people of color who worked in the embassy. Only the white folks who worked there were imprisoned for roughly a year and a half. The answers the contestants gave: slaves, Guantanamo Bay prisoners, and Japanese internment camp survivors are all people that are certainly worthy of reparations from the government. This is true. I know when we felt that, we was like, that's the right answer, though. In 1990, the U.S. government paid living survivors of American Japanese internment only $20,000. Neither slaves nor Guantanamo prisoners have ever received reparations to this day. Some other groups that the U.S. held in captivity and probably owes reparations, mainland Native American tribes from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast, Native Hawaiians whose land was stolen from them when the U.S. forcibly annexed the island nation, Filipinos in the Philippines held in concentration camps during local resistance to U.S. colonialism in early 20th century. And that's just a little bit. I mean, it's like y'all owe everybody. The U.S. owes everyone. And the fact that these white people were the contestants and they were naming all these things, that means they know. They know.
They know.
They should have just kept going over and over again. But turn it up so we can just hear it one more time. Dwayne, I don't know if you got the volume.
10,000 for each day of their captivity. Joe back.
Who are slaves?
No. Scott?
Who are Guantanamo Bay prisoners?
No.
Who are Japanese internment camp survivors?
No. The correct response is the Iran hostages.
And the way he says it, he was like, come on, you guys don't know that it's the Iran hostages? And they're looking like, it was the guy that said Guantanamo Bay prisoners for me. He was like, yeah, this should definitely be right. It was the Guantanamo Bay prisoners. Come on, like, who doesn't know that?
What's hilarious and sad about it is the fact that the Jeopardy phrased that question, or rather the question itself says that the Iranian hostages puts the blame for captivity on Iran versus all of the answers that the contestants gave, which is the captivity that was perpetrated by the United States of America, right? And so, of course, I guess the contestants thought that Jeopardy was going to deal fairly and say, like, if we're going to talk about captivity and in context of American captivity, then you got to talk about American slaves, enslaved people. And you got to talk about the people in Guantanamo Bay. You have to talk about the internment of Japanese people during World War II. But no, Jeopardy was thinking about, and the writers for Jeopardy were thinking about the captivity that was conducted by Iran of American people. So it's just, I mean, it's hilarious, but it's also like really sad because it's another example of America not taking responsibility for everything that they did. Not to mention the other ones that you listed, Rebecca. If America paid reparations to everybody that they held captive, we'd probably bankrupt this country.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you put it in that way because it's like I don't think people understand. Like they wanted to talk about the Americans that were held captive in Iran, and Americans done stole our land, held us captive, made us slaves. Like done put in history books that they're the ones that founded these areas. They didn't want nobody here when they came here. All kinds of things, right? And then named the people of color what they thought was best. So, and it's like all of this. You done stole, I can't say borrowed because they ain't even borrowed. They done stole, okay? They ain't begged for nothing because they done killed people for it. They done lied, and that's how they received the land. So, or got this land or got these people. But in this Jeopardy game, they wanted to make it look like other countries were bad, but didn't know that their white counterparts would inadvertently call out their own BS. So I thought that was amazing. That was magical.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful segment. Yeah. And if we just keep I just wish it could have kept going because I believe their white counterparts could have just kept going.
Yes.
Kept going.
And kept naming another thing. Yes.
Kept naming stuff off.
Yes.
The other thing with Jeopardy that's going on right now is that a lot of people are advocating for Geordie LaForge. I'm sorry, LeVar Burton.
I was going to say, Geordie, that's a different name, sir.
Come on, Geordie. Come on, Star Trek.
I'm sorry, I know him from, actually, I know him first from Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah,
they want. He's still young looking.
He's still young looking. And there's everybody is really pushing for him to become the host of Jeopardy. I think he would be perfect.
Why not? Steve Harvey is the host of Family Feud. I mean, and that to me, interesting. Right? Well, yes, it's interesting.
Did you see it? It's made exactly for Steve Harvey. It fits him.
Yeah,
Steve Harvey.
It's an interesting twist, and it worked out for him. So I think that if we have someone like Lavelle, is that his name, right?
LeVar. Oh, man.
Lavelle. But LeVar, look, name him all but his name. LeVar, if we have him on there, I think it'll give us what we need. And I'm pretty sure when questions like that come about and those white people were answering, he would be looking at them, correct. Ding, 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 ding. You get 10,000. You get 10,000. You get 10,000. LeVar, this ain't what. No. It's right.
Oh man. But y'all brought up Steve Harvey. Did y'all see Earth, Wind and Fire retweeted? I know it's kind of meta, but Earth, Wind and Fire retweeted somebody doing the phonetic spelling of how Steve Harvey pronounces wind and fire.
I need to see that. I didn't see that though.
Oh man,
I heard nerves doing that versus battle like Steve. Shut up, Steve.
Well, when I was about 4 years old, I used to ride in my daddy's Cadillac. Look, here you go. I used to ride in my daddy's Cadillac at 4, and I used to go pick up the cigarettes. And I'm like, sir,
can we hear some music?
Show. And he ain't like the Isley Brothers like that when he was younger. Well, you could tell because he ain't never had a story for them when they performed their songs. But as soon as EWF did, he would definitely have a long story about when he was a kid and what happened and what. And then he was telling, we talked about this already, but he was telling them what was on their albums and when their albums came out. That's a problem.
Right.
Somebody switched them out with the what's the purple? What's that purple thing from McDonald's? Not the Hamburglar. Grimace. Somebody switched out the picture of Earth, Wind and Fire and the Isley Brothers, and in the middle they switched out Steve Harvey's purple suit and put up purple Grimace with the mustache, and I'm in the hat.
It's
and I'm
terrible.
I'm through with y'all.
Terrible.
All right. So anyway. I guess. I mean, if we shift gears, now we're going to move from Joy to these idiots at Fox News per usual. Right. It's only right. You got it, Rebecca.
All right. So now we know Tucker Carlson. That's Ben's favorite person. He can't stand that man. I don't think anybody cared. But on Tuesday,
y'all might need to mute my microphone on this one.
You're gonna be like, what you gonna say about him? His face is ugly. You can't stand to see his face. Like,
and then call him all kind of names. Look, I thought this was the other story about the trans stuff, and I was like, you know, I will go in on him on this show.
Do we
get put off there?
We still got that. We'll save that one for later. We'll mute your microphone to that one.
Yeah,
so,
please.
On Tuesday's episode of Tucker Carlson, Tucker had a retrospective monologue on the events from 3 months ago, January 6th, the terrorist attack at the Capitol, when deluded Republicans broke into the Capitol. Not to the deluded. Okay, I see you. In it, he claimed that the terrorists from that day were just peaceful protesters. Brendan Carrot of Media Matter published this video of Tucker's monologue, along with some of the pictures from that day. Let's see how they all match up.
Today is the 3-month anniversary of January 6th. For those of you who aren't good at dates or don't have calendars, this is the day that we pause to remember the white supremacist QAnon insurrection that came so very close to toppling our government and ending this democracy forever. You saw what happened. It was carried live on television, every gruesome moment. A mob of older people from unfashionable zip codes somehow made it all the way to Washington, D.C., probably by bus. They wandered freely through the Capitol like it was their building or something. They didn't have guns, but a lot of them had extremely dangerous ideas. They talked about the Constitution and something called their rights. Some of them made openly seditious claims. They insisted, for example, that the last election was not entirely fair. The whole thing was terrifying. And then, as you've been told so very often, they committed unspeakable acts of violence. By the time thousands of soldiers arrived to restore order, an unarmed woman, an Air Force veteran, lay dead. To this day, that woman is the one completely verified casualty of the insurrection, the only person whose death we can say definitively was caused by specific events on January 6th. We know how she died. The funny thing is you almost never hear that woman's name. Possibly that's because she was not a Democratic member of Congress or even a Joe Biden voter. She was a protester. Her name was Ashley Babbitt. She was 35. Protester. We still don't know who shot Ashley Babbitt or why. No one will tell us. But then when you're fighting insurrectionists, you don't have to explain yourself. You just hyperventilate about QAnon and then you do whatever you want. When a group of sad, disenfranchised people who've been left out of the modern economy show up at your office, you don't have to listen to their complaints. Not for a second. Why would you? You thought listening to people's complaints was democracy? No, these people threaten democracy.
I am shocked. I'm shocked by everything that he said. I'm shocked. Wow. Of course, on January 6th, Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick was also killed, along with 3 other Trump terrorists. Ashley Babbitt, the woman Tucker mentioned, was shot by a cop guarding the House of Representatives chamber as after Babbitt and others violently broke into the Capitol and stormed the chamber. Later, Tucker further misrepresented Lisa Eisenhart and her son, Eric Muncho, claiming they just walked into the Capitol. Take a look.
That 2 defendants, Lisa Eisenhart and her son, Eric Munchell, should face indefinite detention. Now, neither Lisa Eisenhart nor her son damaged any property at the Capitol or committed any violence. They just walked in to what we used to refer to as the People's House. And yet somehow Joe Biden's Department of Justice convinced a trial judge that Lisa Eisenhart was a, quote, threat to our republic, and that her son was a, quote, would-be martyr. Keep in mind, these are people whose crime was trespassing in the Capitol. We're not endorsing that, but some perspective, please.
So, as a reminder here, here are Eisenhart and Munchell pictured in the Capitol. Munchell dressed in parliamentary gear, paramilitary, carrying zip ties and wearing patches with symbols associated with the far right. Prosecutors had sought to keep them in jail pending trial, but after an appeals court agreed to send the case back for a second look, prosecutors agreed to release the mother and son to home confinement. The 2 are facing charges of obstruction of an official proceeding, restricted building of or grounds, violent entry and disorderly conduct, and aiding and abetting. Muncho is also alleged to have brought a stash of weapons into the Capitol. So we've seen all those pictures of him. We've seen him with the zip ties. We've seen all those things. And now this is still considered to be something that is alleged. And for Tucker Carlson to start off his monologue with trying to frame it as if, yes, we know that, a lot of the claims were salacious, is what he said. A lot of what was being, the people that were storming the Capitol, all those things were happening. Like try to say, yes, it was bad, right? But why don't we hear? So then he changed it. He started off with that to keep us like, watching him, and then literally switched gears and was like, well, all of that happened. It wasn't so bad. We really don't hear about the most important thing. And then that was the death of the one woman, which was the only real casualty. And we never say her name. Yet this woman was breaking into this place is a very secure place. We have a lot of people working there. A lot of our representatives, state representatives working there, the nation's representatives working there. It needs to be secure. But the fact that this woman was able to get through, the man was just doing his job. If it was any other day, it would be just a man doing his job, right? But because on this day, we have to look at it as if this woman was murdered fighting for her country. Is that how we have to view it?
Apparently. Right. And then he also framed it. He also framed it in a way where he made it seem like these were financially distressed people, economically anxious, poverty-stricken. Yeah. Poverty-stricken, driving up and flying up on private jets, driving up in their big souped-up monster trucks with all their, all the extra attachments. Like they had plenty of money to go up there in style and take weapons up there with them. But yet Tucker Carlson, and here's the other thing, like it is a concerted effort to make sure that no one ever views these people as the white supremacist threats that they really are, right? He started off, like you said, Rebecca, he started off the beginning almost mocking the clear-cut narrative of what happened. It was QAnon. It was white supremacists. It was Donald Trump, angry Donald Trump supporters who went up there, stormed the Capitol, and not only got one of their own killed, but got other police officers killed. I'm just kind of processing whether or not anyway, I digress. The point is, because y'all know how I feel about them. But the point is, they did this. And there has been a nonstop effort by Tucker Carlson and people like Glenn Greenwald to make sure that nobody ever looks at what happened on January 6th for what it was. Because if we look at it for what it was, what we're going to see is that white supremacy is the number one threat in this country yet again. And that's it.
Yeah.
What you got to say, Bubba? You don't like his face? You cracked me up when you said
Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump are fluff buddies.
What's a fluff buddy? I don't even want to know.
Exactly. It's not fluff. Replace the word. Next story.
Oh, no. I got nothing to do with that one. Bro.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, man. He's paid so much good money. I think it's to the tune of like $7 million a year to put this. No. He's making real money to put this clean cut face and look and suit on top of what's nothing more than a Klansman robe, right? He's the master of forwarding white supremacy while wrapping it up in a package that they can sell advertisers to, right? And so he has taken the place of Bill O'Reilly, and he's actually going even further than Bill O'Reilly because he's actually making a case against the United States in favor of white supremacy, right? Whereas like Bill O'Reilly was like, try to distance himself at times, but not so much from white supremacy, but from the rabidly conspiratorial groups like QAnon. Nah, not Tucker Carlson. He's all in for the white supremacy and QAnon because he understands that they're useful idiots. He can use them, and the Republican Party, the conservative movement, the ruling elite can use QAnon just like Donald Trump does, just like he did. I think we have this story coming up later on, how he has been fleecing, he has been taking money from people on a recurring basis under the threat of, if you don't give me recurring money, then you're not a real patriot. They understand exactly how ignorant their audience is and how much they can get away with it.
Yeah, and that is it's terrible. They'll pay them millions of dollars to sit here and create, their monologue because it's going to be in their voice, but to make it believable when they do it in that form. And then when they're structured like Tucker Carlson in those, it's crazy how my accent won't let me say some words. It's ridiculous. So saying his name is tough for me, but like in on, him on the network, Jesus, him being on Fox and him sitting there and him being framed to look like a suburban dad, like a suburban racist dad. That's very comfortable for a lot of people, who are on the right to watch, because that's all they have to see. And that's enough for them to agree with him. Whatever he's saying, because he looks professional, no matter if he can be saying the wrong thing, but because he looks professional and he looks like them, everything that he said is going to be Bible, and they are going to go with it. Now, these are going to be the same people after this monologue that run to social media, that run to Twitter, that run to their TikToks, that run to whatever, and support him by pushing the narrative further and saying, well, it's in pushing those conspiracy theorists, right? The theories. They're going to go and put these videos out and say, well, if you look closely, she was shot and she was really the only one. The other people that were shot, where are their bodies?
Didn't even matter.
Did we see them getting shot on camera? Did we see them getting abused on camera? And people are going to continue to believe it. So did you see how stupid I just sounded now? Yes, that stupidity gets you far in America. It definitely does.
It does.
High key. Like, no, that level of stupidity goes all the way to the White House. If you're a white person, that level of stupidity goes all the way to storm the Capitol.
If you're a white person,
if you're a white person, because had this been Black Lives Matter, what do you think Tucker Carlson would be saying? Oh, he would have been calling for our public execution.
These thugs, where are the tankers? How are they messing up a country that they didn't even build?
Exactly.
He would create that kind of idea and that rhetoric, and people would go with it. They would be like, these are our communities. These are the white folks say these are our communities that they're tearing down. It doesn't matter if that man would have listened to the law, if that man would have never resisted arrest, if that man would have just got into the police car, he would still be alive. Don't go ripping up our city, things that we work hard for with all your thugness, and you're coming from towns that you don't have and coming to ours and bringing your violence here. Don't come doing that. He would put videos out of them and make it seem like, to make it seem like that fits really what it is. How he did just now with that video, editing the video to make it seem like those people were good people and they were just fighting, and then naming them protesters and not terrorists. That's a problem.
That's it. That's it.
We don't know why the protester was shot. Yeah, the hell we know why.
Yeah, we do. Because she was warned.
The dead, but she was warned.
And she seen the gun.
She was shot.
The man said, "Stand back." Y'all can watch it many ways, okay? And what did she do? She kept coming further, thinking that because what a lot of white people believe, who are especially in the right, they believe because their white supremacy is like some kind of cloak. Like you're Harry Potter, I'm invisible or I can be covered right now. No, the Lord ain't gonna cover you, sweetie, when you out here doing stuff like that. You will not be covered. White Jesus will not cover you. Black Jesus will not cover you. No Jesus will cover you.
Don't work.
When Karenism goes wrong, she thought she could go to the manager in the Capitol.
Yeah. And I hate that.
Found out otherwise.
She has to be the example, but we have to show you what stupidity looks like. It sucks that somebody lost their lives, but this is how far. If you guys think it's a difference when people are out there fighting for somebody else who you guys keep killing, which is our black men, our black women, we're out there fighting for that. And we go out there not knowing if we're going to come back home when we go protest. Right?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you.
No, go ahead, Ben.
Because Tucker Carlson in that same episode, in every episode, continues to lay the blame of George Floyd's murder on the fact that he had drugs in his system. Right? They literally are requiring of us to look at actual footage of George Floyd being murdered by Derek Chauvin and all of these terrorists tearing up the Capitol in the name of Donald Trump and completely reject what our eyes show us, what context, not just our eyes, but actual context and testimony. They want us to reject that because that's the only way they can maintain their hermetically sealed bubble of white supremacy that comes across from Fox News and all of these other conservative outlets that are funded by billionaires in order to spread their propaganda. They need us to be so disingenuous that we will look at a tape of showing my age, look at a video of George Floyd being killed by Derek Chauvin and just say, no, that's not why he died. He died because he had drugs in his system. And it just shows you like how bad faith of actors they are.
That kills me.
But they're paid $7, $8, $9, $10 million a year to say that kind of stuff.
Yes, and it kills me because that, to me, this whole trial, is just based around, although we've seen everything that we can see and we've heard it from the mouths of the leaders of the police force, of the leaders of the ambulance, of the leaders of everywhere, right? They're saying it was wrong. They're saying there were ways that this could have been stopped. They're saying that this man died from this knee to his neck. And the same thing, the rhetoric, the narrative that's being put out there by one white person, the white man, who's defending him is that, what about the drugs in his system? And that's what could possibly be the deciding factor on this man's justice and whether or not he gets it. Because that alone, that little piece, although all the evidence, all the people that were there, everything, everybody said it was wrong. Everybody gave evidence and ways and examples of how this could have been stopped and how it was the knee to the neck that killed this man. But because the narrative of this white man in this position defending this, all he said was, what about the drugs in the system? Everybody who believes that his Black life didn't matter will just focus in on that and say, yes, what about those drugs in his system? What about those drugs in the system? And that becomes the story.
What's the name of the woman?
Look at it.
Right. Well, what's the name again of the woman who got killed? I'm sorry, James, go ahead.
I know this echo. I hate it. But I'm like, it's like you can look at the video and see that George is struggling to breathe. So regardless if it's drugs in the system or not, that video shows exactly what you need to see. That's all you need to worry about. So you saying the drugs in the system cause this XYZ, man, damn that. Look at this man's knee on this man's neck, and you can tell he's in pain and struggling. Come on, y'all. Yeah. But you already know what you just said, man. Everybody else is just like, they're going to make the narrative and change the narrative. But what about the drugs in the system?
That's the only story that matters. That's it. That is the key part of this particular story, of this particular trial. Death. This is it. That's the only part that matters. Every day, the long days that we've been watching this damn trial do not matter because of that one piece, that one question, that one piece of information. That's it.
Because people like this, all they need is one thing that they can cling to so that they don't have to confront the fact that they are a part of and beneficiaries of white supremacy, right? The last thing that these rabidly racist, white supremacist conservatives, people who buy into all this crap from Tucker Carlson, the one thing that they need more, and the reason Tucker Carlson gets paid the way he does is because he's a master of giving their listeners and their viewers just a rope to hang on to. Because the reality is nobody in good faith can look at that video of what Derek Chauvin did to George Floyd and think, what kind of drugs did he have in the system? That's why he died. Oh, but this defense attorney, that's what he's going to do. Fox News, Tucker Carlson, that's what they're going to do. And they're going to do it because they get paid all kinds of money simply to provide white racists with a way to never be accountable for their racism. I want to ask the question. So if y'all are so worried about what kind of drugs were in the system, I want to know what kind of drugs were in the system of the woman that he defended that got killed in Washington, D.C. what kind of drugs were in her system. I'm going to ask that question about every single person that you claim is on the right side of an issue simply because they align with your politics. What kind of drugs were they using?
Why was she resisting arrest?
Why did she not comply with the commands of authorities? Because if she had done that, her ass would be alive right now. Tucker. So anyway. You want to take a quick break, come back and do a couple more stories before we go to the after party?
Yeah, they got about one story out of us next coming up after this break. So
we made it about 2 or 3.
We got more Like It or Not right after this.
I can't stand y'all. All right, y'all. It is time to introduce you to some of our new patrons. Woo! All right. So here we go. Let's get it. Let's go. Your new patron. You know what? Hold on. Before I read off new patrons, I gotta change the song. I'm not feeling the vibe for that song. So y'all give me a second. Where is it? Ben said to bounce. Oh, there we go. I got you. There we go. Give y'all some upbeat tempo, some joyful music this morning. All right, for our new patrons, here we go. We have Justin S. Welcome, Justin. Welcome. Justice D. Justice. Shout out, Justice. Welcome to the fold, sir. Vernon S. Lori D. Lori. Welcome. Patricia P. Gwen W. Mama Gwen, welcome, Mama. All right, love you, Mama. Appreciate it. Barian W. Barian, welcome. Melanie D. Welcome. Javier A. Welcome. And our special one that I have to give a shout out to, our very first Lion patron, and if you don't know what Lion is, that's Like It or Not, Bryce B. Shout out Bryce B. Congratulations, sir. You were the first new patron on the new patron page, that is. So shout out to you, sir. We greatly appreciate the love, man. Hey, y'all, we thank y'all so much for being patrons. Make sure that y'all have y'all face in the place on Friday for the patron party. We're going to celebrate and turn up in a big way, y'all. So make sure that y'all keep it locked. Stay tuned. Like it or not, your boy DJ Exclusive. Good morning, y'all. I was looking for the song.
You don't mean nothing to me. E-boys like you every dinner. I don't believe what you preach. You're just a rookie beginner. Hang out with boys in the street.
Left is best. Good morning.
I don't believe what I see. Are you wearing gold?
Yes, make sure that y'all hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, y'all, so you know when Like It or Not is going down. Peace is a verb. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're making me blessed. Elephants are afraid of bees. I appreciate that.
Why you calling me honey? Why you show off your money? Wave it like it's a tissue. Baby, this is your issue. I'm not falling for bullshit. If you like me, then say it. You don't get that I see through this facade that surrounds you. Growing up takes time.
Daniel, good morning. Right church, wrong you. Good morning. Justice, I like that. The lion dragon.
You're so bold, but I was unaware. Walk around like everything belongs to you. Doesn't mean like I'm the young stupid fool. Take off all your clothes. You're nothing more than
It's True Dragon. I already know. That's why I like this shot. I have my crown on my head every time. You see it? You see it? Wait, boom, right there.
More than silverware. Thinking you're so bold.
Shout out Goku in the building.
But you always unaware. Walk around with everything belongs to you.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all are ready. It's time for More Like It or Not. Welcome back, Ben and Rebecca.
So James, I went and I followed our guy, the guy you sent to us, the guy who sings our theme song.
Still Fly, right? Revel Day.
Yeah. Found him, and he only has
on Twitter.
What I didn't? Is he on Instagram or anywhere?
I couldn't find him on Instagram, but okay. Yeah. We want to get him on the show, like to sing that or do, because he needs to sing it. He needs to set up he needs to set up like a little performance joint in his home and
give us
do
a live studios.
Yes. During the pandemic, Raheem Devon, shout out to Raheem Devon, you guys know him. He did, it was his birthday and he couldn't go nowhere. He just went into his closet and he set up. And he did for his birthday, he just did this whole concert. And when I say that was the best concert that I experienced, that whole pandemic, this man put a lot of passion into it. So get that man on there and make him perform from his house, a full performance. We need him.
Right, Rebecca.
He can sing, and I love that
I wonder
song.
if he
knows how
knows
much it touches us.
I wonder if he knows he's a star in our world. Like the guy, for anybody in the audience don't know what we're talking about. It's the song I always ask James to play. I'm young, I'm free. Nobody's like he doesn't have like a whole bunch of followers, but he got him over here. Tag
him on Twitter. Like when you get a chance, Dwayne, put up his @ or whatever his tag name. What do you call it?
Let's tag him or something. Because I sent him a message.
So we can show him some love, and he's gonna be like, "Why am I getting all this love?"
For real.
It's us.
No, yeah, we can do that. Matter of fact, David, I'm gonna send you the link, and if you can, because he's the only person. Like I should be able to find it, but if you can, drop it in all of our chat rooms and tell everybody what we want you to do is to go give this brother some love, because his song is like my number one song on this show. But anyway,
and he has a lot of music on that on the label that he's on the independent label. Whole lot of music. Some good stuff, really good stuff.
We need to definitely give him some love. He needs it. He can. It's the power for me. It's him not even knowing that he's pouring into our spirits right now. Mm-hmm. Like, when we get on the show, and sometimes we need that break, and when we hear it, he just livens us up. He's pouring into us from the lyrics and from us listening to him. So he doesn't even know it.
Don't even know it. He a star over here. If he ain't a star nowhere else, he a star like it or not.
And I think that's just enough. You a star over here, and over here we only make stars. You know what I mean? We only praise people that are worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
because there will be no false praise on this show, because Rebecca will get you.
That ass.
Because we be over here like, no, it's not. It wasn't good. It wasn't.
He wasn't singing like.
He wasn't singing. It did not sound good. No.
Okay. He was singing. He just wasn't singing at our Revel Day.
He wasn't. No, he was singing. He wasn't singing. We know the difference. That's it.
It's the difference between if I were to like actually go out and try to sing a song versus like Rebecca actually going out and sing, because Rebecca could sing. I'm more of like, put me in a tenor on the praise theme and I could harmonize, I could pump, I could do, and that's me.
But you play, right? You play and you play the keys. Yeah. That's like me going on the keys and doing my Mary Had a Little Lamb. And you over here looking at me like, girl, and everybody like, girl, you better play. You better play.
Chopsticks.
Right.
Make sure people can hear me. We need to recreate that Nick Cannon Kiera Shear video with Ben playing the keys and Rebecca singing.
Yes,
we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, we've done that before. Well, we didn't do a video of it, but we can do that because then Rebecca and then James, you'll be the virtual choir, DJing back there.
That is hilarious. You gotta wear like a robe. Go get your graduation gown. Put that on.
No, I'm gonna go put on that one sweater I got that look like a whole choir ass robe. I wore that Lacoste one time. Somebody said, Ben, you look like the choir director. I ain't never wear that thing ever again.
You never wore it again?
Never again.
Oh, God.
Oh, expensive ass sweater. I'm a donate. I can't put it back on. Next time I look like a choir director. The big old V coming down. I'll wear it for that video. It was...
Those are terrible shirts.
Oh, man.
I can't.
So, I can't what you get. You know what? Somebody made the call. What y'all want to do next? I'm totally open to
we
whatever.
We gotta go to the other side. Look, because y'all. I mean, I would love to rock with you guys, but as we just created our Patreon, you know what I mean. For that extra
that you should
time,
join.
You should definitely join our Patreon. Come on, patreon.com/like-it-or-not.
patreon.com/like-it-or-not. Y'all go subscribe and become patrons and support this show. If you are a patron, keep in mind, I want everybody who is a patron of the Benjamin Dixon Show, you are already there. You're going to get access to everything. If you want to transition 1 month over to Like It or Not, that's totally cool. But in the meantime, just know everything that you get for Like It or Not, you're going to get it on the Benjamin Dixon Show Patreon page and vice versa. So go patreon.com/Like It or Not, become a patron. Hey, do me the solid, James, because I want us to have something for the people to tag him in on. Let's close out the public segment with his song as we transition over so that everybody can know exactly why and how dope this brother is, why they should go on Twitter and tag him and show him some love. Can we do that?
They gotta know where to find him. So if we can figure out
I dropped the link.
You dropped it. Okay, thank you so much.
In the tweet. Yeah.
Great. All right, well.
All right, and we have more stories on the other side.
They were handed down to me, but I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse.
Yo, name of the song is Still Fly, y'all. Still Fly. This is by Rubble Day. So make sure that you go to his Twitter page, tag him, say, hey, brother, we love you, man. We showing some love. And say, hey, you need to come check out Like It or Not and come on the show.
I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time to ride it now. It's your time. Cheers to all the haters, cause you're.
And shout out to Third Sage as well, too. Third Sage, thank you so much for your super chat.
See whatever from behind me, but I'm still fly.
Yes, Third Page and Seven. I'm sorry, Third Sage and Seven Sweetheart. You should get links for the after party as well, too, since y'all did your super chats today. So thank you so much.
I could be a hater like you. Clothes to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you. From the inside out. It's time.
And everybody, if you do give a super chat, via the super chat, email David and you will get the link for the after party. So if you drop a super chat, you will get access to the VIP area.
It's my time to ride it out. It's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free.
Right. And make sure if you follow Rebel Day that y'all send him a comment saying that, hey, Like It or Not, send this in, DJ X3C. Matter of fact, y'all tag all of us in there when y'all put them in there. DJ X3C, Rebecca's is Rebecca Azor, right, Rebecca?
If you're on the bus, say yeah.
Okay, and Ben's is BBD.
Yeah.
Benjamin P. Dixon. Make sure you tag all of us. Shout out to Peace is a Verb for your super chat, man. We appreciate that. She broke some bread. I appreciate you.
So put your fist up in the air. Say yeah. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out.
Shout out to y'all, man.